And now it's time for Who's Views with JT and the Whotastic panel.
Hello everybody, it's us again. Yes, we are back to grace your telly boxes. How are you all? It's Who's Views. This is Merchandise Paradise. As you can see, I'm with George and I'm with Bedouin, and we are here to talk about character options latest beauty, as I would like to call it. That was revealed earlier this morning here in the UK. And wow, I mean, I'm really chuffed about this, guys, because in our Pertwee celebrations of Pertwee 55, the third Doctor at 55 that we did just a few weeks ago in January this year, we were sort of saying that we had heard there was going to be an online exclusive coming in March. And we were all going, oh, wouldn't it be lovely if it was a Pertwee edition? If it was Pertwee, that would be really good, wouldn't we? Ta-da! And it is. I'm absolutely delighted with it as well. So yes, it is, of course, the Pertwee box set, everybody. It's good to see in the chat, but this is the one we're talking about right now. Here it is. I think it's a lovely box as well, actually. Don't know about you guys, but here we go. We're going to be talking about that throughout this show. Woo!
Well, when you very kindly emailed me the link this morning, JT, I was very pleasantly surprised when I looked at it. But I have to admit, the first thing I thought was the dimensions of that sonic screwdriver are way off. How are you going to get that into his hand?
Trust you. Well, Phil didn't even know what it was. I think he was looking on it on a phone or something. What is that? He was saying to us, what is that? What's going on? It's great to see you all in the chat. I've got the press release for this as well. We're going to go through that in just a second. But let's have a look. Sheila being the devotions is going, ooh, nice. What a lovely thing to say on a Tuesday. Oh, you mean about the thing? Right. I thought you meant us. And Adrian James was saying, evening fellas. Hi, Adrian. And PTA. Hi, PTA. Hello all, says Paul. Nice to see you. Good to see you. John is saying to us, John Mason, hello, hello, hello. What's going on here then? Yes. And Daleks Are Forever saying, I've ordered mine this afternoon. You and me both, Daleks Are Forever. I certainly did. Legion of James wants to know, how many did you buy? For me, it's the rule of two: one to open and one to keep and covet, because it's lovely. But I think that's aimed at you, probably, Bedouin.
Yeah, I haven't gone on this one. I'll be honest.
Everybody's just stand back in amazement. Yes, you heard it live here on Who's Views.
I was slightly underwhelmed. I'll be honest, because it is one figure. I've got other Pertwee figures, which are lovely. I also have other Third Doctor Sonics, and these are the ones that are out of boxes. There are of course versions of these that are still in boxes. Yeah. So although the figure is lovely, and we will talk about that at length in this episode of Who's Views, I can't justify that amount of money on one figure and some additional bits. But yeah. Right. I haven't gone on it. I've still got to order my Blake 7 season 2.
Yeah, you say.
Yeah, so it's a bit spendy.
I understand that, absolutely. But I have alerted the media, and it'll be on the front pages of all the tabloids tomorrow, everybody.
John Mason communicated from fandom.
Yes. John Mason said, get the Pertwee logo on it, for heaven's sake. Yeah, we know what you mean. We know what you mean. But we're going to be a bit pedantic, are we, George?
Yeah, and say, as I've said before, the one good thing that's come out of the current iteration for Doctor Who for me is the reintroduction of the diamond logo, which for me is the definitive logo. And as I have no connection with the current series, I only see it on merchandise, and that puts a smile on my face. To see the diamond logo on it is great. And even though, yes, Pertwee's in his demon's costume, it's not specifically a demon set, it is a third Doctor set.
Yeah.
I mean, if we wanted to go into pedantry, he's holding the sonic screwdriver, but we don't see the sonic screwdriver until the Sea Devils. He didn't have it in the Demons.
Didn't? No? Maybe it was in his coat somewhere, or in
But the Kronos crystal and the green death maggot, I think, are just nice little throw-ins there as well.
They really are. We're going to come to the press release in a second, but yeah, John is saying there's nothing like a big Sonic.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't the Carry On streams, love, or why? And Bill Lowry is saying to us, I really have to budget on Friday to afford this if they are still available. Yes, because they are limited. And Forbidden Man is saying, is this online only? It is. It's an online only. We're going to be showing you all the details very, very soon for that. John Mason coming back to us to actually say, I ordered 2, one for me and one for my son. Yeah, right.
Yes. That old chestnut.
And Legion of James saying, Pertwee figure, buy them all. That sounds like something from a Doctor Who show. Buy them all. Yes. Stephen Braddock's enjoying this. Best set character I've done in ages, and in my favorite costume from the Demons. And Paul Stenterford, I absolutely love the new head sculpt, but it looks like a season 7 Pertwee. It's a shame that this couldn't have had a season 7 costume, as this season has just come out on Blu-ray. Yeah, I know what you said, because we were expecting especially spoken to the Third Doctor Ian and Paul about this. We were hoping, and George, you were saying as well, wouldn't it be good if they'd done a Silurian, a Third Doctor there, or a Liz, or something like that? One of those sets.
I mean, I heard unconfirmed rumours that there was apparently an Inferno set in the works at one point.
There was. I've seen the pictures.
Yeah,
right, okay.
You never know. That might be the B&M one.
So was this? And I agree that when I looked at it, I did think that that could pass as a season 7 John Poe, because it's pretty much pre-Buffont.
Yeah.
I thought, I wonder if that was originally intended for the rumored Inferno set.
You never know. I mean, as I say, there might be one coming for a B&M, because this is just the online. So let's get into this. Let's get in and talk about the press release that we had from Character Options earlier today. If you're outside the UK and you're just waking up, good morning, hello, because this has just arrived to us today on Tuesday, and this is fantastic. Now, the press release came along this morning. I have to say, the first thing it says that this is the first of 5 sets planned for the year, online exclusive. Now, I personally reckon that some of those will also be something to tie in with the Shooty Gatwa nonsense era. Basically, I think that could be
right the first time.
But we'll wait and see. But this is the first of 5 sets. Okay. As far as I'm aware, there's also still going to be some B&M stuff. So who knows what's going on with there. It also looks like, because it is in the press release, it says this. It also looks like that this is a lower run than usual. So if you want this, you've got to get it now. As you can see from the ticker down there, it's a Character Options online exclusive. It's called the Third Doctor and Sonic Screwdriver Vortex edition, and you can get it from character -online.co.uk with a retail or the price is $44.99 from them, which includes the postage and packaging. So here we go, everybody. Let's get into this. It says Character Options reveals the first Doctor Who exclusive of 2025. The Third Doctor and Sonic Screwdriver set. Character Options and BBC Studios are proud to announce the first of 5 planned exclusive Doctor Who sets with the release of the latest Vortex edition toy, the Third Doctor and Sonic Screwdriver. It's on sale from today. The set comprises of a brand new Third Doctor figure with an electroplated electronic sonic screwdriver. This higher specification Vortex edition Third Doctor figure comes with some of his iconic accessories. The figure now also features an entirely new head sculpt based on its early appearances circa 1971. The figure is decorated in the costume specifically seen in the 71 story, The Demons. It makes use of the new higher specification decoration techniques on the head, as well as a greater degree of detailing on the jacket and the paisley cravat. The removable cloak accessory features a metal-sized, I hope I'm saying that right, because I've never seen that word before, metal-sized satin purple lining, and joins other accessories, the crystal of Kronos from the Time Monster, and a giant maggot from the Green Death. Also included in the set is a full-size electroplated, they love that word, don't they? Electroplated. Gosh, it makes it sound, Third Doctor electronic sonic screwdriver. That's why the price is a bit high as well, because it's electronic. The style with bright electroplating has never been released before and features a different sound chip, updated neck decals, and revised colours on the emitter head. This stunning new set that commemorates the classic story is on sale now and costs $44.99. Each online exclusive release has unique features not to be seen on any retail versions, and with a limited amount available, this set is certainly not one to be missed. So there we go. That's the press release that came through from Character. Yeah, I want to start. Go. Sorry.
Any idea of the number of units they're going to produce on it?
No, and it didn't say. It doesn't say on there. So take that as you wish. Basically,
I imagine the higher price is for a lower run of products. So, given whenever it was they released the Silurian set, and they went slightly larger in terms of number, and then the price was, what was it, $29.99?
Yes,
and that hasn't quite worked out, in that they seem to have had quite a few left. So they've probably gone lower volume, ordered slightly higher price. So it's a balancing act, these things. So yeah,
it is, isn't it? And also, I mean, it must be very difficult for anybody like Character right now to say what is going to sell, and what isn't going to sell. Because as we know, the show is not popular right now, and I think the sales of merchandise, George, will reflect that.
Yeah, and I know I'm undoubtedly being biased here, but surely a very safe bet would be John Pertwee or Tom Baker related, but for collectors. I mean, certainly for me. I mean, I really couldn't give two hoots of anything released from the Shooter Gatwa area, but show me something like this today, or if you were to do an exclusive online Tom Baker set, I'd be there. Enter car details. Okay.
A little bit like me earlier today. I thought, okay, this is what I expected, but I love it anyway. I'm having it. Lots of you commenting here as well. Price of figures across all franchises are through the roof now, says Legion of James. So this figure, with the inclusion of the Sonic, isn't that far off from the norm, to be fair. Pete Harrington saying, so it's the best of John's bits. Pardon? Oh, I see what you mean. Yes, it is there. It is. What else have we got there as well? Drawing Jack Rabbit. Hello, Jack. How are you? If my love for Doctor Who wasn't completely dead, I'd be very excited for this set. Well, that's just brought me down.
Well, it's the sort of thing that could. Well, this is the sort of thing that could reignite your love for Doctor Who.
Yeah. Let's try and do that with Jack, shall we, everybody? Because I love this thing. Let's start off as well, because I want to say a huge thank you for the Affable Company. What they got? The Affable Design Company, for sharing. They tend to do this, don't they? But they tend to share their designs for the character options figures. So let's have a look at this. This is this particular one. Now I'm going to read from their social media here. The first three incarnations of the Doctor will always hold a special place in the hearts of Affable Design. Affable's director, Edmund Barnett Ward, hello to him, is the son of renowned television cameraman Peter Ward, who began his career at the BBC in 1957 and filmed most of Doctor Who from the show's inception until 1971, when he left the BBC. How fab is that? One of his final projects at the corporation was working with an experimental unit to create the new title sequence for the Doctor's third incarnation, John Pertwee. 5 decades later, we are delighted to present a new third Doctor head sculpt depicting John Pertwee as he appeared in the early part of his tenure as the Time Lord. So there we go. So these are the versions here. I mean, they are very good, aren't they?
And I have to say, looking at those, the detail is phenomenal.
Isn't it just?
That's like Madame Tussauds standard, isn't it?
Do you know, I was going to say that, George, because this is what it reminds me of. And I love the fact that, you can see all the little detail. I mean, as you say here, the pre-bouffant hair for Pertwee is captured nicely, but the nose is captured nice. Let's color it in, again, from the Affable Design Company. Look at that.
I mean, that is phenomenal detailing. It really is. And if that's carried through to the finished product, that's incredible.
I think it's fantastic, and I love it when they share these sorts of things. And when it's an action figure that I'm interested in, like this John Pertwee one, I find it fascinating. Certain other ones I don't look at. I have to be very admit. But I think it's wonderful. Look at.
But I mean that's such a Pertwee facial expression as well, with that very faint wry smile on his face.
It is, isn't it? Sheila B in the devotions. Hope you're all right, lovely. Hope you're all right. What have we got here? Legion James is saying the postage is free. Yes, it's part of the price there. It is, and because they have this thing that if you spend over £20 on the character options website, it's free. So this is $44.99. What else we got there? And just Jordan is saying, I think I might have to order this for my dad. I think he would love it, even if you put it aside for his Father's Day or his birthday or even Christmas. Just Jordan, because your dad's the same age as me, and he's going to love this. I tell you, absolutely tell you. What have we got here as well? Carl Goddard, nice to see you. I see Sean Pertwee so much in the face of the sculpture. Do you?
A little bit. Yeah, I can see that.
I suppose, yeah. Well, he does look a bit like his dad in certain angles, a
He
bit,
does,
Sean. doesn't he?
yeah.
Especially now he's aging a little bit. Sorry, Sean, but he is. You know, he's got that sort of.
Maturing.
Yeah, thank you. I've been told twice today not to use the word age, and I'm like, why? It's true. It's like a good wine, isn't it? Let's see what it looks like then, out of the box, as it were, from the pictures that were released today. Here we go. Look at that there. The man of action himself, everybody.
I'll be honest, these pictures do not disappoint. It is a really stunning, high quality figure. And yeah, I have mentioned that it is a bit spendy, but for the quality of the figure is just superb. And not just the head sculpt, which is clearly brand new and much closer than I thought we'd ever get, really, because you imagine at this stage the original molds for the Pertwee head sculpt have kind of been worn down a little bit and lost some of their sharpness, and so to have gone back and done a new one, which is, as you say, less bouffant in terms of hairstyle, it really works. And the detail, as you say, the costume matches that worn in the Demons, from the necktie and the colors. They really pop. It's a stunning figure.
I have to say, on speaking personally, that variant of his costume, I think, to me, is almost the definitive one. The black cape with the red smoking jacket just defines John Pertwee's look for me. It was only slightly better for me when he had the black bow tie and the three doctors. I mean, much as I like his other costumes, particularly the green variant in Carnival of Monsters, say, when he had the cloaks with the check pattern on them, that to me looked like he had a blanket draped over his shoulders. And I always thought the plain cloaks made him look so much more dashing and so much more doctory. So for me, the fact that the character have gone for this costume is like a big thumbs up.
You said something similar on our review of the Demons last year, didn't you? That you thought that was the Pertwee look.
Yeah.
So to actually get the action figure now, what good timing that was. They must have been watching us, guys. That's all I say.
Yeah.
And who can blame them, quite frankly? Who can blame them? Thank you for all your chats here. Good to see you all. Paul Stanford, this Pertwee figure looks fantastic, but I do advise a note of caution. Could this be a ploy by the Nestines to take over the world with John Pertwee plastic figures? I think it probably could. I think it probably could. And they're probably going to win it as well, aren't they? Let's have a look at more pictures that were shared today by them as well. This one I quite like. Look at this one. I like that. Look at the detailing there on the cravat, as well as the. Well, we are used to really good detailing, but it is a lovely piece. This I really am. Loving
I mean,
this.
even below the cravat, the ruffles on the shirt and the shirt buttons are all there. The attention to detail is quite remarkable.
It really is, isn't it? Look at this from Julianne, guys. This is a top class figure for a top class doctor. I couldn't get an order in fast enough. Good for you, Julianne. And thanks for commenting on the Facebook page. I knew you were getting this one straight away. I thought, oh, look at her. She's writing. She's happy today. They've made her day. Obviously, and Peter's saying to us, better head sculpt. It's nice. It is, isn't it? It looks really good. And the painting is nice. It's a good job on the painting.
Yeah, and credit to character. They kind of had a decision to make in terms of their price point and who they were aiming these figures at. And we went through the 3 3/4 inch figures during the Capaldi era, which were not, the quality was less, and because you had smaller surface to work with and you lost the details and all that sort of stuff. And now they are going, top end, really high quality action figures. The ones we had last year of, the Mavellans were superb.
Yes.
If they're going to do quality, then I'm all for that.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, the more quality, the better the figures, and it looks like they are. I mean, this one, I'm really
I've got absolutely no idea what sort of production costs are involved from the design right through to the finished product. But take into account all their overheads, the royalties they would have to pay to the BBC. Undoubtedly, the John Pertwee estate would obviously be entitled to some sort of royalty for using his likeness.
Yeah.
As a business, they have to make a profit margin on it, so that would be factored in. So I don't know if £45, as you said, JT, including the postage, isn't that bad. I don't know.
The way I'm looking at this price as well, everybody, is I no longer buy Doctor Who merchandise. The only things I will buy now are the the standard edition Blu-rays, which are few and far between, and anything from B&M Character Options.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah. Like you, I buy
awful. You know,
yeah,
there's nothing
like
else
you, I
worth
buy
buying.
very little as well. But yes, I have gone for this. As you were saying, Bedouin, you know, it's the market's aim for. It's clearly not aimed for younger children to play with. It's very much aimed for the collector's market, which is the mature end of the scale. You know, people who absolutely love this era. So you know, we're looking at adults with hopefully disposable income to treat themselves once in a while.
Yeah, well, I totally agree. And again, it must be difficult again because they don't know who their market is right now. They know that the original series action figures will sell. They know that. The new series stuff, not as much. So what you're going to do? And quite frankly, as you said, George, you know, it's going to be the Pertwee and Tom Baker eras. They would have to exploit as much as they can.
Yeah, but like any business, you go to where the money is. You respond to what customers want.
Yeah, yeah. And what you're dealing with here now is a certain age group or a certain sense, a certain Doctor Who fan who's saying, no, we're not wanting that. We're not interested in anything from that. Give us that.
Yeah, and I think if you look at the sort of B&M range, the History of the Daleks series, that's now reached the 2005 onwards era of the show. You know, they've mined the classic era now, and so that's going to stop. I picked up the most recent Parting of the Way set, which is quite nice. You know, got claw, claw Dalek and a nice black and bronze one. But yeah, the classic era they've done now, so that's kind of run out. So they need another avenue to kind of do something with in terms of the classic era to keep that interest. And there was always big interest because, you know, as soon as those hit the shelves in B&M, it was a frantic dive all over the country to try and find them.
I mean, I can remember one time being in a B&M when one of the classic History of the Dalek set came out. I forget which one it was. It was fairly early on in the series. And I remember standing in the checkout queue, and there was a guy who was certainly in his 40s, 2 or 3 places in front of me with 2 of the sets, just grinning like a Cheshire cat because he'd obviously got them and it had made his day.
I love that. I love those stories there. You know, how do you make grown men of 50-something cry? Make sure they miss out on a Character Options original series B&M exclusive. But this is the Character Online. This is Character Options exclusive that we're talking about here today. So yeah, it's available right now. It is a limited run. So if you want one, I feel like I'm on QVC. If it is a limited run, and if you want one, you have to go onto them right now. The website, we will show this again very quickly for you down here. It's all there for you. The Third Doctor and Sonic Screwdriver Vortex edition is what you're looking for at character-online.co.uk. Available right now. Here we go.
You know, if there's another 4 Character Online exclusives to come out this year, can I just say, Character Options, if you're watching, top tip for you. Go and talk to Warner Brothers and get a license to do a Peter Cushing figure. You'd be on tour in there.
Peter Cushing, yeah. And then those lovely Daleks as well from the films. Anyway, that's another show. Listen, Bill Lowry, yes, does the Third Doctor Ian collect the figures? He certainly does know. He's working tonight, so he can't be with us. So what I've said to him and Paul, who's also working tonight, is that in this Sunday's headlines, if you don't mind, we'll pop this back in so they can have their say as well. So as one of the headlines on Sunday's show at 8 o'clock, it'll be Character Options did this. Did you see this? And we'll all pretend that we didn't have this show. We didn't have this show. So we all have to come back on Sunday and do it again with them and see what they say.
This is a limited edition show.
Yeah. During Drag Rabbit, what you're saying to us, Jack, sorry guys, I'm just saying from the opinion of an actual collector of multiple figure lines, this really isn't as good as it could have been. It needed updated articulation. That's fine. Absolutely. It won't be for everybody. It's certainly for me because I'm not that involved as Jack is in all his various figures from different franchises and stuff like that. Because there will be better ones out there, but for something that's, I'm quite happy with this from a Doctor Who fan. It goes with everything else, to be honest.
I mean, just reading the chat once, said I'm assuming the Shooty Gatwa figures that have been released have some sort of better articulation on them, which I assume had cost involved in it. And I'm only guessing here, maybe they tried it with those figures and they got the fingers burnt. They haven't got the return on them.
I couldn't tell you I didn't buy them. Did anyone buy them in the chat?
Yeah. If they did use that improved articulation, would it have pushed the cost up even more? Would it put another fiver on it to make it a 50 quid set?
I don't know if I go for 50 on these. I don't know if I go for 50, but no, thanks for that. We got Legion of Jameson says, I saw the pic on the Who's Views Facebook page, clicked and bought before I even had properly read the post. John Pertwee, thank you. I'll have that. Yeah, that's it. I was more or less the same. I saw the thing coming through, clicked on the hyperlink, bang, then sent it to the guys. Pete Harrington, costume is more defined. Oh, damn, I'm getting one skin to gain. Oh, that's just from the picture. Hi, all. I bought the crap out of this today, says Problem Being. Yay! And John Roberts is saying it just shows if you create quality merchandise for a golden era of the show, it will sell, unlike Shooty Who. Well, exactly. And this is the whole thing about they don't know who the audience is now. They've been told one thing, and then the reality is something totally different. Sheila B. in the Devotions, Shooty Gatwa figure is now under £20.
I spotted it recently in a well-known retail store, and it was reduced to considerably less than £20. I saw it at half that.
Wow, that's sad, isn't it? That is really, really sad. Yeah.
I mean, on Characters page, the previous Vortex edition, the Shooty Gatwa and Millie Gibson set is still at $39.99, but obviously they did that separate run for retailers, and to be honest, I haven't seen any in the shops.
No, I haven't either. But then, how many toy shops do we have now? And we know that big outlets did take them back in 2006, 2007. Like your supermarkets, they're not taking them now. No, I
mean, I was in a supermarket earlier today, and there are all these complicated relationships. I think like the Entertainer is now part of WH Smith's brand, so you go into WH Smith's and there's a toy section which is technically the Entertainer, and then it's a bit complicated.
WH Smith is Toys R Us.
Is it Toys R Us? Something
Toys
like that.
R Us. That's what you mean there. I think Tesco have. Oh, what's Tesco?
Is Tesco the Entertainer then?
I can't remember what it's called. They have another one, and there are no Doctor Who toys in it. They've got a wide selection in the bigger Tesco's of toys. No Doctor Who at all. No. And that's a high street toy shop, and I can't remember what it's called. I'm afraid. I'm sure that's the Entertainer. That's what I'm confusing. It might well be.
Supermarket earlier, which would have been the Entertainer, but I've also been in a Smith's, which would have been Toys R Us. I think you're right. Yeah. But it's that weird. They don't have their own stores now; they're part of other stores, and it's not as obvious a retail space, and they're very limited because they only have a small section of a larger store, so they can't stock everything, such as Doctor Who stuff, which possibly won't sell.
And the other thing they can't do as well, because of the way retail has to be today, as you say, they're piggybacking and supporting each other, trying to keep their businesses afloat or bring them back in the case of Toys R Us. But what we won't see again are the likes of the Toys R Us exclusives, the Woolworths exclusive, the Argos exclusives. Because Argos, I think, was the only one that I knew that was selling it, but it was all catalogue, wasn't it? So they would have had a limited edition in there, Sad time.
I remember having to go to Argos and ask for, I think it was like a customer view or customer review, something like that. Because when you had a particular wave come out, you wanted to know what ones they had, so they'd send you up from the stock room what figures they had, and then you could select, oh well, that's the one I'm looking for, I'll have that one, and then they'd send the rest back. So you do stuff like that, but yeah, Argos don't even do that now because they haven't got any, as far as I'm aware, Doctor Who figures on their catalogue.
They were happy days, though. I remember doing something similar. Now, I didn't get a list. I got a woman called Mary bringing me a box full of the things down. She said, right, we've got that one, and we've got that one, we've got that one. And I thought, I'll have that. And they used to put these awful, I can see one here, they used to put these awful great big stickers on it, like a barcode on them, which you can't remove because it would rip the blooming
Yeah, it was a separate
cardboard.
barcode. Yeah.
So annoying.
I remember reading relatively recently, less than a year ago, that apparently B&M is the biggest toy retailer in the UK now.
It wouldn't surprise me at all.
Probably.
And when you look at the amount of space that they have, sometimes in towns and cities, more than one store, of course, as well. It wouldn't surprise me now. And they're not even just a toy store, are they? They are bits of everything now.
A homeware store, yeah.
Yeah. So it wouldn't surprise me that at all. John has just said to us, thanks, guys. I've just put the Mr. Pertwee set. Hurrah! And Pete Harrington is saying, it would be nice for a future one of Tom with pieces from the Key to Time with a Sonic. Oh, don't. Oh, I would love that. Oh, no.
I've got to be honest. I'm convinced that one of those 5 sets has got to be a 4th Doctor.
Yeah, it's bound. I mean, I would put money on that one of them has got to be a Tom Baker MBE set.
Yeah. Oh, it's got to be. It's got to be something big, hasn't it?
Which is fine by me.
It's fine by me as well. I will start saving now. I'd love them to do both the Tom and Sylvester in their duffel coats as figures, says Stephen Braddock. Okie dokie. Legion James, won't it be very interesting if the 5 exclusives end up all being classic era, considering they've been unable to shift very many of the Vortex shooty at all? It would be interesting, and that's something we'll talk about on a future show, I guess. You know? John's also wants to know, JT, will you be showing yours on the channel? Excuse me. Oh, the figure. Yes, but it'll be in the box because I only ordered the one and it's not coming out of the box. So if George opens his, then we'll ask him.
As you probably see on the shelving behind me, yes, I do open them, and they just go and live on the shelves there in exciting action poses.
What a freak. I don't understand that.
And all the boxes and the packaging are stored in the loft because I've got lots and lots of storage space.
Poor Rose, poor Rose. Now I might just be tempted by a Cushing figure, George. It would be lovely if they did.
I would be the first in the queue if Character Options did a Peter Cushing as Doctor Who figure.
Oh, it'd be lovely. It'd be fabulous. Can you imagine with 2 of those beautiful Daleks on either side? Can you imagine the price? I think that this figure could be Character Options testing the water for more detailed limited edition products for the serious fan collectors. I wonder what's next in their release schedule, says Paul Stenterford. I hate to think. But bearing in mind that the new version is back next month, and there's 5 to get in. We're in March now. If they produce another sonic screwdriver, we'll all laugh, won't we? We will all laugh if they do another shooty gap with sonic screwdriver.
Well, there's loads of those. Good grief.
I must admit that as a sidebar to all this, congratulations to Character Options for keeping this totally under wraps, because as far as I'm aware, no leaks or anything like that. It came as a total surprise today.
Yeah, it was. I mean, we knew something was coming online this month. We'd heard that, but we didn't know what it was. And as I said, we were all hoping on this channel it would be a Pertwee. So thank you, Character Options, for watching the shows and doing it.
Whereas previously, for example, the Destiny of the Dalek set last year, I mean, I don't scour the internet for stuff, but even I was aware a good couple of weeks before it was officially announced. There was I didn't know if it was going to be a B&M set or an online set. There was a Destiny of the Dalek set coming up with, at least one Novellen in it, whereas this, came as a complete surprise.
Yeah. Good. Well, we'll just have to wait and see. But don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because as soon as they mention something, we will sort out a show and we'll be back here and we can all get together and we can talk about it, unless it's anything to do with the new stuff, in which case I'll make an editorial decision and say no. Okay, is that all right, everybody? Because who's going to watch? And it's not as if we're going to care. We'll sit here going, "Oh, right, it's a solid screwdriver," and then it'll be over. So it's not worth doing, is it? Hello, Just Jordan. Just Jordan's gone off to buy one for her dad. Good for you. And problem being is saying Character Options should focus on the classic license. That way they will make their money rather than lose it. Yeah, I mean, that's just what we call common sense, though, isn't it, really? And I don't think BBC Studios, I'm going to say allegedly at this point, from what I hear on the rumor circuit, allow them to. I think they have to do both. to balance it all up.
Yeah, it's a joint. I mean, it'll be a joint license. So, but obviously, I imagine other sets they've done previously. The Abominable Snowman set that flew off the shelves. That would have been a bit. I know the Destiny of the Daleks set. You can still pick up that, but they clearly sold well because I bought 3. So those are clearly the good items that are doing well for character when they put them online, and so they would be keen to do that. I'm not sure the same is true of the Shooty Gatwa Sonics and that Vortex set.
The Jungles of Mechanus chase set that they did, also known as the movie Daleks, that was a huge, that sold out within a day or something, didn't it? I seem to remember hearing it was a
I think it was a couple of days. Yeah, it was quite big. Yeah. But it was gorgeous. It was the only chance you were going to get those sort of Daleks in this scale from character as well, wasn't it? Really, because that little loophole they managed. But that was brilliant. We got that. I thought Toys R Us was finished years ago, said John Mason. It is, but it's now making a gentle return to the British high streets via WH Smith. So a lot of the WH Smiths will now have the Toys R Us logo in their window, and in mine, for example, the 2 I've been in near me, it's at the back of the shop, and it actually looks really good. I can see children being very, very attracted to it because it's all the bright colors and stuff like that. The other thing, of course, that I would say to WH Smith is, they've got to get the vinyl back in, and I believe that's started to happen. So you can have the adults looking at all the vinyl and the children messing around with all the toys. It's the way we've got to get people back into shops and doing stuff like that. And if it supports both WH Smith after over 100 years, who are now apparently struggling, and helps to bring Toys R Us back, great partnerships hopefully can work. So but I can't see the time when Doctor Who's going to end up in the new Toys R Us like they used to be honest, with those great big drops. Do you remember? Wow, what a time. Yeah. Do we know, says Problem Being, when these Pertwee figures are shipping? No, we don't, mate. You can order them from today, as I say. And then no, it doesn't give any details from that at all, so it could be any time, I guess.
But from experience, the turnaround is usually pretty quick. When a character puts stuff on their website, it's the next couple of weeks that they do actually start arriving and being sent out. So
I mean, I remember particularly you just mentioned the Abominable Snowman set they did with Patrick Troughton in the fur coat. I remember ordering that, and I can't remember how long it was, but I remember being really surprised how quickly it turned up.
Oh, Julianne's also telling us Argos have the Series 1 for Gatwa figures on clearance sale at £15. It's the Whittaker era happening all over again. It's the same old. I tell you, they'll soon be $4.99. I tell you, because nobody wanted them. Watch this space. It wouldn't surprise me if they do end up back on B&M shelves again as well when they start bringing out anything for the B&M range. Imagine, says Stephen Braddock, if they do the Cushing figure set with a Dalek and a Robomat. Well, yes, we're on that one now, thanks to George. I've got that in my head now. It's terrible, isn't it? Legion of James, behave yourself in the chat. I can see you. And Julianne also saying to us, rumour has it on internet that Anthony Ainley's Master is coming soon. That would be lovely. I'd like that one. Again, that could be another exclusive, couldn't they? If they've done something with the Master, the Anthony Ainley Master, perhaps even the Tom Baker Doctor and the Peter Davison. There's so many variants that they could put together now when it comes to these things, but we'll have to wait and see. It's exciting anyway. I have to say, isn't it sad that the only thing I'm excited about for Doctor Who at the moment is the action figure merchandise from the old series? Nothing else is exciting me because there's nothing else there. John's saying, I bet character options will be blown away by these orders. I hope they've had a good day today. I do, because word went around very, very quickly that these were available. Hello, Lord Thoth. How are you? It's good to see you. And then Bill's going off on one now, George. A Bernard Cribbs policeman with the Cushing Doctor. Look at
that. In my head, I've already got at least half a dozen Doctor Who movie sets, from each movie.
Let's go back and have a look at some more stills that were released today from the film. We went to this one, didn't we? So we've seen this one. I'm going to change it now to this particular one. Look at him there, with his gloves on and the Sonic there, and that purple effect. What was it called? Metallized or something? They're calling it. It
Yeah.
does look good, doesn't it? Actually, it looks
Well,
really deep.
It's I suppose it mimics because that cloak was satin lined in that very deep purple.
Exactly. Yeah.
It mimics the sheen that the satin had.
Yeah. And as they say, the cloak can be removed. It's very good. Let's have a look at that first picture we showed you as well. We can actually see the purple even more. Look at that. That's going to look good when it's out of the box.
If it comes out of the box.
I've just never in my house, by the way. It's never going to come out of my house. No, but isn't that lovely, everybody? And look at the detail and the cravat and everything. It's been really looked after, I think. I think it looks great.
Looks fantastic.
Yeah. Wow. Now, as it said in the press release, it does come with a sonic screwdriver. Here it is. So this is the latest version of their third Doctor electronic sonic screwdriver, which has been metallized. What was the word they used there? Yeah, so this is
metallicized.
Yeah. Electroplated electronic sonic screwdriver. There you go. Electroplated.
Which I assume will give at least parts of it a very shiny chrome finish.
I think that's it. Now they have done.
Yeah.
It says here, this style with bright electroplating has never been released before and features a different sound chip, updated neck decals, and revised colors on the emitter head. Now they did do a electroplated Shooty Gatwa one, didn't they? But none of us bought that. But it was there. But there you go. So what do you think of that, guys?
It looks. I must admit, I'm less interested in the sonic screwdriver than the figure, but yeah, nice to have.
It's
Yeah,
an thing, isn't it?
Comparing it to the one I've got, which was their original run of Sonics. The picture does suggest that it has, as you say, George, a more metal finish to it rather than what is admittedly a kind of dull silver on this one. They've also changed the color of the head to a more deeper red, which is more accurate. I'm getting more tempted by this set, to be honest, because at least that is an updated Sonic, and that is quite nice. It is a classic Sonic. The first story I think I ever saw was the Sea Devils, and seeing Pertwee with the Sonic activating the minefield, and that's a memory that is very vivid in my head. So.
Yes. Well, those of us of a certain age who just devoured the Doctor Who monster book when that was first published, there was that wonderful double-page photograph of Pertwee, the very classic photo of the Sea Devils of him holding the sonic screwdriver in the foreground, and then they added the buzz lines to it, and yes, you just sat there, turned the page over to that one, went, wow. It's like the classic sonic screwdriver image.
Brilliant. It is brilliant. Eastland was with us there, just saying, nice to see you, Eastland. Thank you very much for joining. She was saying nice head sculpt. And problem being, I did a custom cloak and painted the lining metallic purple already. Ooh. We're not all as clever as you, though, mister. I couldn't possibly do that at all.
Not that good with a paintbrush.
No, I'd love an alien master from Survival, says Stephen Braddock. Fabulous. And Lothoff, great to see you're doing great at Who's Views. Well, thank you, Lothoff. Yeah, we're having a laugh. We're doing all right. We are doing fine. Thank you. It's good to see you. Thanks for joining us. At this point in character options, years of churning out figures, they will absolutely know 100% that the classic era is the biggest seller, says Legion of James. It's no coincidence John was first on the back of the Blu-ray release. I absolutely think that certainly happened. And of course, our season in January, celebrating John Pertwee's 55 years as the Mighty Time Lord, that helped as well.
There must be coordination between the companies. If you're BBC Studios, you're going to be.
You would do a bit of joined up thinking, wouldn't you?
Well, you would think so, but no, I'm not saying anything more.
Maybe that's being too generous. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, Pete's reminded me that the 14th Doctor's Sonic, the 14th Doctor, what a waste of a life that was, had it in chrome. It did look nice. Another one I didn't get. Yes, that's true, actually. It did. I don't know. I think they didn't use the same word for that, did they, Bedway? It wasn't electroplated, was it?
Oh, there were a couple of different variants of this, weren't there? Because
Yeah,
you can still get like a gold plated one, which isn't actually gold; it's just gold. Yeah. I mean, it's just the finish, and sometimes the finish is quite nice on them. For what is essentially a children's toy, they are quite nice and reflective of what the actual props look like. But yeah, there were a few finishes on this type of Sonic. I remember.
Yeah, they really tried to make it before the the flat one came out. That's what that was about. Poor Rose is saying, "Look, Bedweir is definitely getting Sonic envy." Says poor Rose. I bet he'll cave. Let's see if he does by the end of the show, shall we? Yeah. Hello, Graham. Graham is saying, "JT, my mate Rob is watching his first live Who's Views. Any chance for shout out to him?" Well, of course there is. Hello, Rob. How are you? Welcome to Who's Views. Please make sure you've subscribed. Give us a like, why don't you? Are you going to be buying this new Pertwee action figure from Character Options? But nice to see you, Rob. Thank you for joining us. Really appreciate it. What else we got? Robert. Hello, Robert Payne. A sonic screwdriver is supposed to look like it would work as a screwdriver. The optical mouse sort of thing Shooty uses isn't a screwdriver. Yes. we all have that, don't we?
To me, it looked like an odor eater's insole.
A lot of people did say it looked like that or a shoe, didn't they? Yeah. Bedweir is turning like a super tanker. He's going to get one, says Stephen Braddock. The clock is ticking. We are looking at this now to see what's going to happen. And John, as a kid, I wanted a sonic screwdriver, and as an adult, I still want a sonic. So it looks like I will now have 3. Well, yes, and there's been quite a lot of them, isn't it? Small Swole Goat, it is nice to see you. Small Swole Goat, nice to see you. Hey, slight off top. I heard about RTD giving an interview about the next showrunner talks. He has. And you'll have to come back because we're going to be talking about it on Sunday in Headlines live at 8 o'clock. I've already got a pack show. I've been working on it for you today. There's lots to talk about already. And that's one of them. So come and talk to us then. Were you going to say something there, George?
I was going to say, my instant thought on that, I wonder if it is smoke and mirrors to try and protect the upcoming series, to make it sound like there is a future.
Oh.
Because let's face it, you don't have to delve too deeply into previous interviews with Mr. Davis to soon notice he starts contradicting himself and just says things at the moment which bear no resemblance to reality as time goes on.
And we've proved that on the headline shows, because one week he says this, and then a couple of weeks later he says that, and then a few months later he says this, and we've been doing headlines now for over a year, so we've got the proof there on the shows. Go and have a look at them.
But yeah, I mean, if you've got an upcoming series, you're going to do your best to protect it and safeguard it and try and make it successful as possible, rather than before it even goes to air saying, yeah, it's a dead duck in the water.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and as we've proved, the constant discussion about, nobody's watching Doctor Who live, the overnights don't matter anymore. We've proved time and time again that it makes up, the bulk of their 28-day figures. So that's nonsense. Exactly. But they want to peddle that line, so carry on.
Yeah, and we'll always come back and say, excuse us, can you say that again, please? Because we got this
correct you.
Yeah, exactly. Julianne is saying, I collect the Sonics as well, except the last couple. Yeah, well, we all know what you mean. So love that this is part of the set. And Mark Greaves is saying, at a local seaside claw grab machine, I saw people putting the Gatwa figures back in instead of taking them out.
All right, no.
What is this? Yes, I can see that happening. It's terrible, isn't it? That's awful. We are terrible here. Lord Thoth is saying, I miss JT. Well, I've been here, love. And I've missed you too. But make sure you subscribe and come back. We're on all the time. We're like a rash. We've got here Just Jordan saying to us, I don't blame you, Stephen Braddock. I'm going to surprise my dad. Yeah, because Stephen was saying in the chat there, I noticed that even though this was a little bit pricey at $44.99, he's got one as well. And I think that's a lovely surprise, Just Jordan, for your old man. He's going to love that. He'll be thrilled. He'll be absolutely thrilled, I promise you. Because I know I am. What else we got here? And Small Swell Goat is saying the screwdriver design is getting worse and worse ever since the 13th Doctor one. Well, I think it was going a little bit mad personally during the Moffat era ones with Smith, the bigger one. I thought it was going. I wish they'd just kept it as the sort of ours, the classic version, but no, everything had to be remodeled, didn't it? And had to be. Of course, marketing was part of it, Bedweir. It was all about the toys as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I liked the Smith one. I thought, I worked the Doctor Who experience mostly in the shop, and the numbers of Sonics we would shift in a day was easily the thing we sold the most of, especially when they came out with the 4 where we had 3rd, 4th, 10th. I can't remember what the last one was, and the 10th ones we couldn't get enough of them, couldn't keep the shelves stocked.
And that's when the show was popular as well, though, isn't it? I remember, walking down London or Liverpool or Manchester or even Glasgow, and occasionally would see little boys, especially with their sonic screwdriver, like they would take a little teddy bear in the old days. They were with and at conventions, of course, the little dears would interrupt my whatever I was doing by.
Yeah, but I agree with you, JT. The Capaldi, Capaldi didn't get his until his 2nd series, and then it was kind of weird because it was kind of like a Metabilis crystal on the top. That was a design I couldn't get on board with. I didn't like that one.
Yeah.
And then Dirty Whiskers was not very Sonic screwdriver like, should we say? It looked like something else.
It looked like a silver poo. Yeah. Amongst other things, but I just thought, that's tacky. That can't be right.
I'm trying to keep it clean here, JT. But
yes, that's fine. That's cool. I must admit, I did like the Sonic that River had, said Robert Payne, go and stand in the corner. And John Mason saying to us, I picked up the Tenant 2 chrome-plated Sonic, but was disappointed that I did when the show came out. I know exactly what you mean, John, because it was in it for like a second, and then they changed it. That was what I call really taking us up the garden path. That was brilliant marketing because it was in 3 episodes, if that. Then it changed for Gabba because he couldn't have, of course, been seen to have something like that in his hand, I reckon. I just thought, that was very clever of them there because we all thought it was going to run, didn't we, that particular design? I felt for all of us that bought it, actually. I was a bit annoyed. It's down there on the bottom shelf, actually, thrown down there on the bottom shelf. The problem being, the problem with these modern Sonics, it's like everything else in the series, they over-design them. Yeah, they overthink them. A lot of the time, they really do. Look at the genius of the original stuff, eh? It's just wonderful. And Daleks of Forever are the 5 planned sets, all of the 3rd Doctor era. It's doubtful. They haven't confirmed Daleks of Forever, but I wouldn't say so. I think they'll go for other eras as well to please other fans.
Yeah,
you know what
as
I mean?
I said before, I'm willing to put money on the fact that one of them certainly will be Tom Baker related.
I imagine if they're following the Vortex box design, it'd be figure plus Sonic, and so you could do 4th, 5th, 10th probably because they know the 10th sells.
I'm not getting anything else to do with the 10th Doctor. Not a thing. I'm sick of him. Look at him over there. Stop gurning at me. Loads of them over there on that shelf. Like you lot will all
draped
have.
in his flag?
No, not quite. He'd be in the bin if he was. But no, I'm not. Honestly, I'm sticking personally now with Ahu. I'm not going to do anything from 2005 onwards because I've got too much of it. I mean, it's all around me. Sticking with the original stuff now. I like the idea of this one from Paul Stenford. I'd love character to do a Fury from the Deep 2nd Doctor with the original Sonic screwdriver. That would be nice and different because it was so small, that one, George.
Yeah, isn't there a story that the original Sonic screwdriver prop, which I think I'm right in saying that there's no photographs of, there's no visual reference for from Fury from the Deep. The prop was lost when they went on location to Margate. Was it Margate Beach that they did the location on? And Patrick Troughton improvised with the whistle off his life jacket, actually on the actual shoot. And then the prop that turns up in the War Games, which looks a bit like a little thin torch, was created for the War Games because the original one was lost.
Yes,
so nobody actually knows what the Sonic screwdriver in Fury from the Deep actually looked like.
Yeah, people have analysed those few photos of him holding something, and because his hand and thumb is kind of covering most of it, it does look like he's just holding the whistle off his life jacket, as you say. But obviously, we do have the War Games, so we can see the Sonic quite clearly, and it is a particular pen torch.
But apparently the original prop was lost, and it was a new prop for the War Games.
So
what a shame! What a shame, mate.
Everyone
So
assumes it's that small pen torch, but we can't.
Mm.
We don't have the episode. We can't see it clearly on
Yes,
any of the photos from the
but yeah,
set.
there is a story that Patrick Troughton improvised with the whistle off his life jacket.
Yeah. Problem being saying to us, yeah, the second Doctor Sonic is nice and easy, just a small pen torch. Yeah.
Mhm.
But I didn't. They did something else, didn't they? Where they had a sort of. Oh, I know where it was. That stupid Sonic pen that again I bought from Series 4's opener. Do you remember?
Well,
Sarah Lancashire's
Oh,
character had
yes.
the
well,
Sonic pen.
if we're talking obscure Sonics, let's not forget the one that Romana built in Horns of Nimon.
Yeah, which I still am very angry about because Lalawar gave that. Sarah Sutton gave that away on Swap Shop, and I didn't win. Raging, and I'm still am all these years later. My sonic screwdriver was made by Black and Decker, says Sheila B in the devotions. I bet it works properly as well, doesn't it, love? Well said, JT. It's 63 to 89 all the way, buddy. Proper Who, great. Yeah, it is for me when I'm looking now at the merchandise because I'm just not interested in the new stuff at all. But then again, I'm going to ask you the question: what merchandise is the new stuff producing apart from character options and the odd T-shirts you get from places? Books.
Well,
I mean,
have you seen the latest updates to the Forbidden Planet catalog of T-shirts and stuff? They've, I was working my way through it the other day, and there's lots of stuff for the new series, and they have added Meglos, which is quite nice on a T-shirt and a badge and all that.
T-shirts, yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's all sort of print to order now, so they're just coming up with designs, and then you can get it on a T-shirt or a jumper or whatever it might be. But a lot of their sort of shooty Gatway era stuff is fairly uninteresting.
No, it's not there, is it? It's just not there. And as I say, I'm more excited about this because I'm not going to get anything from the 2000. I mean, I haven't bought that Parting of the Ways Dalek box set you mentioned of the history of the Daleks one. I'm finished. I'm done. That's it. Unless they bring out an alternative from the 80s, of course, which I would consider.
Yeah, I only got it because I quite like this sort of the black and gold. I think that's a really nice, and the black obviously reminds me of 60s Who, because you had black leader Daleks quite commonly. So that's really nice. So it's largely why I got that one. But if they do another Dalek set, I've already got plenty of those, and the Red Supreme, and we've had that, so I have no desire to get more of ones I've already got. But that's quite a nice one that I didn't have.
No,
so
that's fair enough, and they're available still in B&M. I actually saw them in B&M near me today. Loads of them, by the way, loads of them.
They have
you haven't got them yet. And you want them going on? Right?
Did they have the 3-figure pack?
Yes, they did. Loads of them.
Yeah, because that's really uninteresting. That's it's another Cyberman, it's another Clockwork droid in a different color top, and a River Song. We've had plenty of River Song. That was a poor.
Again, it shows that the sales, even in the retail stores, guys, are the original through the proper Who.
Yeah, I mean,
and
I've got no intel on this, but I've always thought that there would be a very good market for straight reissues of the much earlier character option set, like I can see it behind you, JT, the Revenge of the Cybermen set. If B&M did a reissue of that, I'm sure that would sell, no problem.
I'm actually hoping for a History of the Cybermen series now. Now that we've had the History of the Daleks, I'd love a History of the Cybermen one. And again, I would probably stop at the 2006 set. But think of because we had the Age of Steel ones, didn't we?
Yes.
They could just basically tart them up a little bit, re-release them, make them nice ones. I don't know. I think there's potential there. I don't know what you think in the chat, everyone. But I think that's a good one. I'd love that. I'd like that. Hello, Moon Pawuru, who says, meep, meep. It's good to see you. Nice to see you. And Wheel in Space, Cyberman Now, says Problem Being. Yes, please. I'd love those.
The missing one. Yeah.
That's the missing one.
Oh, has that one never been done as a figure?
No.
But which version?
Because the original costume wasn't made, was it? It was sort of like a compromise version of the redesign, wasn't it, if I remember rightly?
Well, if you put 3 figures in them, you can have one which is unique.
Because in the film sequences, the costume's slightly different for when get in the studio. So
Well,
character, if you want to tell us, please do. You can get in touch with us very easily at whosviews1@gmail.com.
But I do think a straight reissue of that Revenge of the Cybermen set would be a very easy win. That's low hanging fruit for them.
Yeah. I know they have to do is change them a little bit because they were part of those on exclusives I was telling you about, George. So yeah, but yeah, all they have to do is change that. There's so much potential. Can I show the sonic screwdriver again? Yes, I can. There it is. So this is the new version of the Third Doctor electronic sonic screwdriver. Yeah, nice and shiny for you there. New settings, new build, new color scheme. It does look really nice. And again, in the box with the Vortex edition, price $44.99, available to order right now from Character Options website, and it's limited. Everybody, if you're going to get one, it's limited. Now, I have to also say on that particular point as well that if you are going to order it, orders are limited to 2 per customer.
Ha.
There you go.
Yeah, so are the Destiny sets, but there we go.
2 per customer. It shows it's a limited run as well then, doesn't it, if it's 2 per customer?
Just as a matter of interest, the standalone sonic screwdrivers like the one you had there, Bedwyr, how much did they retail at?
$19.99, weren't they?
I think initially when they came out, the first run of them, as I said, it was you had one of 4 to collect. I think we were selling them at sort of $12.99 or maybe $9.99 at some points.
Yeah.
There have been other releases by Character where it's just been a Sonic, but in the sort of plastic outer shell packaging. I remember they did a short run of those, which I think might have been a Forbidden Planet Underground Toys kind of exclusive. They were at least $19.99.
I got some of those actually in B&M because they did appear eventually in B&M, because I got the War Doctor one, a 8th Doctor one, and what's that? Is that the 5th Doctor? A 5th Doctor one from them. I didn't get them all because they didn't have them all in, and I think they were $12.99.
Yeah.
Okay,
and there was this as well, George. I don't know if you ever saw this, but there was this one too.
No, that's a new one on me.
Yeah. So this was the 3rd Doctor Sonic with sound effects, the 4th Doctors with sound effects, 5th Doctors with sound effects, the 7th and 8th Doctors with sound effects, the 10th Doctors, and the 11th and 12th Doctors. Because remember, the 12th Doctor actually had that one for a little while, didn't he, before it changed it? So that was available as well. And I got that. I think that was an exclusive on Amazon when I got it.
Yeah, I think I've only ever seen that on Amazon.
Yeah. So this is the latest edition.
So if they were selling at £20 now included in this box set, I mean, that's coming up for half the price of the box set that was announced today on its own, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. They see us coming sometimes, Who viewers, don't they? But as Who fans, I mean, as I say, I'm justifying it by saying, okay, what else was I buying? What else am I buying? And I'm not buying anything. So there we go. And not once did Pertwee do any mopping with his screwdriver, says Mark Greaves, in a reference, of course, to that awful thing we had at Christmas, which was just ridiculous. It was like the Sorcerer's Apprentice gone wrong. Honestly, it was. You didn't want to, because it just insulted the Doctor Who fans. It was ridiculous, a ridiculous thing. Douglas Smith, hello, nice to see you. I remember the individual Sonics were typically on sale. Absolutely. Oh, and John is saying to me, if the Sonics have batteries, JT, please remove them or they will eventually leak. Yeah. Yes, I know, but I've got so much to get through, honestly, because I've got batteries going back 30 years. So I'm going to have to go through them all. Hello to the uncanny Kylie Wacker. Hiya. Oh, Kyle, not Kylie. I've got Kylie on my head. I'm still on my mind. It's a lovely set worth spending my cash on. So hello to you. Nice to see you. It is, and I'm glad you have. Julianne also reminiscent saying, I paid $19.99 for my 3rd Doctor Sonic for Forbidden Planet, packaged in a plastic shell with a lenticular collector's card. Oh, that was one of the original ones, my lovely, wasn't it?
Yeah.
As I said, that's coming up for half the cost of this set that's just been announced.
Exactly.
Which kind of puts the £45 price into some sort of perspective.
It does. There's also some accessories into this box set as well. Oh, go on, Betty, go on.
Yeah, I mean, my argument to that is that, for £5 less, we got 2 Mavellans and a Dalek last year.
Yeah.
So I mean, it does feel slightly unbalanced, but now you've sort of talked me around a bit more about the Sonic being actually an updated version and a bit more Sonic-like and more metallic. Then I'm not quite so dismissive of it as just another version of one I've already got. So
I wonder if it's heavier as well. I'd like to know if it's heavier. But the thing as well, let's talk about the cosplayers for a second. They're going to love these sort of metal versions as well. It looks more authentic than the grey plastic one, doesn't it?
I was just about to say, give it a few weeks, and by this time next year, there will be hundreds of photographs of Katie Manning with one of these when people go to meet her.
Yes, very probably. Very probably. Let's have a look and see what else is in the box for you all here. Yes, here we have the Crystal of Kronos. We've got the Third Doctor's sonic screwdriver, the one you saw in the action figures hand there, and you've got my ex. Oh no, sorry, no, that's a maggot.
Which, okay, they probably don't tip the balance, but I think they're nice little extras to put in there.
Yeah,
and again, covering not just specifically the demons, but the Third Doctor era. So yeah, they're to me are very welcome additions.
They're nice, but they're stuff we've had before. I would have liked something a bit new or slightly different.
Has a Metabulus crystal ever been done before?
No. Yeah, exactly. No. I don't think it has.
No, it hasn't. Metabulus crystal. No, I reckon they're saving that one.
They've done a nesting sphere.
Yeah.
But no, I can't think of a crystal.
I don't think they've done the blue crystal from Metabulus 3. But as I say,
maybe that's too small. I don't know.
Well, isn't that again? That's another lovely set, a Planet of the Spiders set. Everyone, can you imagine a Pertwee, a Sarah Jane, the Crystal, and possibly something else? Because
but yeah, I mean that would definitely need a new head sculpt, because by the time we got to season 11, we were well into Uber Bouffant. I mean, his hair came into shot about 12 seconds before he did.
Especially in Spiders.
Pete's asking us, what was the crystal in, guys?
It was a time monster.
It
was the Crystal of Kronos. Again, there's that very famous photograph of Roger Delgado in his lab coat holding it aloft like that. That's what I always associate it with.
Yeah.
And in terms of the action figure sets, that was a Delgado with the computer bank TARDIS.
All right, I didn't know that one had been released.
The crystal was in that.
That was years ago, that one. Yeah, that was years ago. Again, that was another one that was supposed to be for the American market. So it was quite expensive over here, available from Forbidden Planet. I'm hoping for the day character to do sets with doctors and companions. Yes, I'd even want an Adric, says Legion of James. Well, yes, I would as well, for completeness sake. Because we've not had Tegan, Nyssa, or Adric yet. We have had Perry, but we haven't had Tegan, Nyssa, or Adric. It's a matter of time, surely, guys, if they can get the rights and everything sorted out.
Yeah. There's a good number, as far as I'm aware, there's a good number of companions that haven't made it into bigger format.
Liz Shaw, yeah, Jamie. You can only do that with the I reckon with the Pat Troughton in the fur coat, with the Yeti and a Jamie. That would be ideal for all of us, wouldn't it? But I don't think it's going to happen now. And just Jordan's asking us, has they done a Bessie? Nope. No, they have not. Again, that would be another good one.
Probably really
yes. Yeah. Different scale, but the original DVD release of the Three Doctors had a very nice sort of like dinky toy size Bessie in it.
Oh, that was a Corgi.
That was the Corgi, yeah.
Yes,
for the anniversary years ago. Yeah, and it was a nice one. It came with it came in a tin, it came in a box, and it came with the Three Doctors DVD. So it was a nice one. Yeah, very good. Has there been a Whomobile? No, Graham, there has not.
Well,
not an official one, no.
Dapple did start doing plans for one.
They did.
And Rob Ritchie in the last few years has done one, which looks superb.
It does,
but not to character option scale, no.
No. It's not there. But no,
That would
there's
be a
still
Planet Spider set, wouldn't it?
yes, that would be it. I mean, there's so many that they could still do. I mean, 26 years, and they've only just touched the surface, really.
Yeah, and it's great that the Whomobile itself is still around and has gone through some restoration work recently.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, can you? God, I bet even John wouldn't have thought it would still be here all these years later, would it? Bill Lowry is saying just the Whomobile at a 5-inch scale is just too expensive for character options. It probably is, you know, but we can dream, can't we? We can dream. Yes, let's have a look at that again. So there were the accessories there for you. So you've got these little things here for it. Let's have a look at the figure again, shall we, everybody? Here we go.
Now,
nice
if you
as well.
Yes, I've just thought if you've got one of the sets that B&M did quite a while back was John Pertwee in his Time Monster costume with the TARDIS. If you've got one of those, that crystal will complement that rather nicely.
Now you see, George is already playing with this and he hasn't even got it yet.
Yes, and also there was a B&M set that had a Jo Grant in her Time Monster costume as well.
Yes, that's
It's all coming together.
It's all there for you. Absolutely. So this is available now. It is the Third Doctor and Sonic Screwdriver set, Vortex edition, available from character-online.co.uk. It's priced $44.99, and it's available for you to order right now. I'm going to say it again, it's an exclusive from Character. There's the box. That's what it looks like. I really like the box as well, guys. I think it looks really good. I do like the new sort of branding. I like the colouring better than those old things, which were just the blue stuff that we had. Much better, I think.
The orangey gold colour of the border around the display window there sort of subliminally reminds me of the colours of the first Pertwee title sequence as well.
Oh, okay. No, fair enough. Yeah, and this is why I think, you know, when we've been looking at the history of the Daleks and you know, the Colin Baker Ultimate Adventure police box set, I think that's why they stood out more on the shelf, because they were white again with a colour. And I think that's really attractive. Imagine if that, everybody, was available in B&M. It's not, let me just reiterate, but that sort of colouring. It's similar to the one that you've got for the history of the Daleks, Parting of the Ways, isn't it, Bedouin? Which does stand out. Very, very nice there. Very, very nice. But yeah, I like the new packaging. That gets a thumbs up from me. It's all about the packaging as well, because I keep everything in a box, as you can see. Look at the difference. Look at that stuff there. Boring blue, which you had to really look for on a shelf. And that stuff, this one, absolutely gorgeous, really hits out.
It does pop, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely fabulous. Absolutely
and those will look nice if you line them all up.
Oh yeah.
Or spine first, like like the DVDs or something. They can look really nice.
How do you shelve yours? I shelve mine actually, everybody, in story order, which makes which is bizarre on the shelves. At least I know where they are. Yeah, I think this is going to sell out quickly, says Stephen Braddock. Yeah, probably. Yeah. Oh, do you use the same?
Yeah, I thought
the same to us here as well. You have to take them out of the box and play with them. No. No, can't do that, I'm afraid. Can't do that. Well, listen, guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight for this one. This was an impromptu show based on the news today that Character have released this. It's available, as we keep saying, available to you now on their website. If you're interested, go and put it in. Yeah, let us know. whosviews1@gmail.com what you think about it. Paul and Ian will have a go at talking about this on Headlines on Sunday live at 8. We'll be back tomorrow, actually, Wednesday night, as we continue our series marking 20 years of Reboot Who this month, March 2025. Tomorrow, we're going to be doing a companion piece episode where we're going to be looking at Rose Tyler, played by Billie Piper. Come and join us for that. You can tell us exactly what you thought about Rose in her 2 years and a bit more. Come and join us live at 8 tomorrow night for all that. To George, to Bedouin, thank you for joining me. Hope you've enjoyed that. Really appreciate it. Until we see you, hopefully tomorrow, next time. Take care of yourself. I mean, don't forget to subscribe, give us a like, and also, if you have subscribed, please make sure you're still subscribed. We'll see you again soon, everybody. For now, ta-ra, everybody. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Night-night.
Bye, everyone.